Hey guys, Bearded Viking Gamer here, and today I have some pickups for you. It's been a super slow week. There's a lot of stores still closed down for the whole COVID case. I know that they're doing stuff like, at least in my area, I don't know if it's around in your area, but they're doing curbside pickup at a lot of these stores. So if you ordered something online on their website or whatever, you can pick that specific store and do a curbside pickup where you just go up and somebody actually comes out and meets you with your order. I know that's going around out here. The stores are slowly starting to open, so there's still not a whole lot open. So I was only able to get about 5 items this week, which is tiny for me. But some of it's good stuff in here, and I can't wait to show you guys. I want to show you guys what we have in here. Plus, this whole week the heat's starting to hit up in here now, so it's not fun to go out inside right now. But yeah, let me jump into what I got here for you guys, and hope you guys enjoy. All right, so this first item here, this is from a buddy of mine. Well, I've known it's basically my old crew back in the day, back elementary school and all that from third grade up. I've known these guys, and it's crazy. We did a get together. It was just a couple weeks ago now, and or actually, yeah, this is 2 weeks ago, and he surprised me with this. But I got to fill you in on a little story of how this came about. So when we were younger, of course, they introduced me to Bobby and Charlie. They introduced me to horror and awesome music, all the kick-ass shit, because I would stay over at their house all the time when we were younger. I'd go over there, and that's where we'd play, and we'd run around with fake machetes and cut each other's heads off and stuff. So it was cool. But yeah, I loved Friday the 13th and Mortal Kombat, all that stuff. We'd always play video games and stuff together too, because they had a Sega Genesis and the Sega CD and stuff. We'd jump onto that. But one of the times we were filming, had our little camcorder and we were filming our own horror movies, just like anybody else did who had a camcorder when they were younger. And we were doing I remember doing a Predator movie also, but I remember doing Mortal Kombat, and we had people dressed up and stuff. And one of our characters that we had for Mortal Kombat then, man, it sounds so stupid now, but then we thought it was the coolest name ever. It was Death. And, we're like, my line was supposed to be, you have a duel with death, and, of course, they're going to start fighting and stuff on screen. And we had the camcorder on there, and I fumbled up the words, and I was totally into it. And I said, "You have a death with duel," And we all start laughing and everything, and it stuck with me this whole time. They still bring it up all the time. We still laugh about the whole ordeal on there. And it's just when you're a kid having fun, it's just awesome. It was an awesome time. But he was in the store, and he was doing some game hunting of his own, and he came across this title, and it totally reminded him of it. So he's like, "Hell yeah, I'm buying that, and I'm gonna give it to Adam." And this is the game. I had never heard of this, but it is Death Duel on the Sega Genesis. Again, you still have yet to play it. Yeah, I will totally pop it in here and play this. But freaking cool. Once he heard that name, he's like, "Oh, I'm buying that for sure." But yeah, it looks pretty nuts. It says, a whole new meaning to disarm your enemy, the largest 16-bit characters ever. Oh man, look at all the words they're trying to sell this thing. 16-bit graphics, 8 megabit, one player. Let's see, a searing hiss of metal breaks the silence of dawn. As I step through the fleshy remains of my previous opponent, I realize the metal behemoth I am about to face is more fiercely equipped with deadly roto-bore proton rockets. I know I represent our final hope as I mount the Federation's newest war machine, an A7 Trinity cyborg. The signal is given. I must proceed to dueling ground. Today, death is in the air and mercy in my guns. Let them beg for mercy. Freaking sounds awesome, dude. It just sounds cool. But yeah, there it is. The Death Duel. I have never seen this one on here, but I appreciate it, Charlie. Thanks for picking that up and putting it on this thing, man. It's cool. This next one here, is a pain in the ass to get right now. Just with all the kids being out of school and because of the COVID scare and everything. Yeah, everything's getting bought up everywhere I go. It's bought up. So I waited. I did an online order and I waited 2 weeks and I finally got it. And this was Animal Crossing, so the kids can play some Animal Crossing. But this is Animal Crossing New Horizons, which you guys have all seen this stuff probably right now. Been out there. But yeah, on the Switch, this is a game they're jumping in. They're playing the heck out of it right now. Every time we have to do their homework and stuff here at school, or at home here. But as soon as they're done with all their homework stuff, then they get on here and play some games. And it's cool to watch them in there giggle together and stuff. They're having fun. That's what it's all about. This next title here is another Switch title, and this is the Collection of Mana. Now, if you've never played like Secret of Mana or any of those on the Super Nintendo or anything, dude, I highly recommend it. And if you don't have that system, for sure pick this up because this has 3 awesome games in it. And this is Final Fantasy Adventures on here, Secret of Mana, the one that's on the Super Nintendo, and then Trials of Mana is also on this. And it's freaking awesome to have those 3 games in one cartridge. So for sure worth a pickup for the Switch. And I mean, I don't know if you guys have the light or whatever, but I always hook my stuff up to the TV, so I don't have a light. So I hook the Switch up to the TV and play it still like an old school system. But to have all 3 games on one cartridge, dude, you can't go wrong. These are awesome games. All right, now previous videos back, I showed this game. I used to have this when I was little, and this is Solstice. Okay, it's an isometric type where you're gathering items and you're collecting keys and things for the NES. Okay, this is Solstice. Well, recently here I've picked up a complete in box. Now the box is beat up. But it is still the same company. So Solstice was around, and this was ImageSoft here. And then Sony and ImageSoft partnered there, and this is Equinox. Now this is Solstice 2. And it's freaking, it has that same type of look. Obviously, it's completely different because it's Super Nintendo. But I'm glad to have it here in a complete in box. And Solstice is just something I remembered as a kid. I had it and flipping through the magazine and stuff with the instruction booklet. So for me to have Solstice 2, which is a completely different style game, but look at the back of that. It's freaking cool. And the front of it again here, you got like a shrunken head and stuff put up on a spike, and he's hanging on a tree over here. Just looks freaking awesome, man. I love the artwork on stuff that was around. Again, this game is not expensive by any means, but just something I didn't have in the collection, and I loved Solstice. Solstice isn't everybody's game, but it was a game because that's what I had. When you were a kid, and you had, maybe 10 to 12 games tops, and that's what all you were swapping in and out because you didn't have money to get anything else. If your parents got you something for the birthday, then you'd have another game for the whole year to play. But if you're stuck with like 12 games, those are the games you rotated out, in and out, in and out, in and out. And yeah, Solstice was one of them for me, and I played the hell out of it. So to have Equinox Solstice 2 for the Super Nintendo, I'm excited. All right, now to my last one here. Like I've told you, I've been on a dungeon crawler binge, and I'm loving it. Right now, I'm still right before bed, before I go to work or anything. I still put in Orcs and Elves on the DS. I'm playing that a little bit each night. Sometimes if the kids are still sleeping in the morning, I'll pop it in there and play that before they wake up. But I'm playing Orcs and Elves on the DS right now, and I'm loving that. It's freaking such a good one. It's made by the ID team, the same team that did Doom and stuff, so it's cool. This is one, though, that I had picked up and I didn't have on the Sega CD. And this is Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, but this is Eye of the Beholder. And look at that cover, man. It looks freaking awesome. Just one of those dungeon crawlers again. You can see him cruising down the corridors and different monster stuff. This one is complete. It actually doesn't have that little foam piece going across it, but I can do without that. These games are freaking awesome. I love these little dungeon crawlers. If you guys can think of any other dungeon crawlers for basically any system, Leave a comment down below. I want to know, man. I love looking for these old ones like this. I love Skull Keep for the PC and all those. If they could have something like that on consoles, I'd be all for that. But yeah, that's what I got for you guys this week. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week. Thanks again.